Hi everyone, my name is Maitri and I'm very passionate about tabletops and I am learning to be a better GM, a better player, and a better person. And I want to share with you some of the cool stuff that I've been learning. Today I want to talk about a tool that I stole from another GM that I have found a lot of success with. I try to make a lot of content that centers around designing scenes and stories and games that matter to the players, but I realize that make it matter is fundamentally kind of a useless statement. So I really try to have actionable items that you can actually do, that it doesn't feel like nebulous and conceptual, like these are actual tasks that you can do if you would like to do them. So today specifically what I want to talk about is like I said, a tool that I saw from another GM, the midpoint checkin. What I'd like to call session 0.5 or session half. Everyone knows about session 0 at the top of the game, or just, setting expectations, even if you don't do that formally. I do have a video about that, and there's loads on YouTube detailing that as well. So if it's something you want to look more into, it won't be challenging for you to find information, I don't think. But I genuinely feel like what we don't talk about enough is, what do you do when you're already sort of in the thick of it? When the plot's cooking and the emotional stakes are rising, most choices are built on previous ones. What then? And honestly, any GM worth their salt is probably already doing informal, organic kind of check-in through the campaign around various things, like pretty casually and just kind of part of your dynamic with your table as friends, as players. But I have found that sometimes a defined check-in gives people sort of time and space to kind of reflect a little deeper. Like just giving people a minute and asking them to reflect on specific things, especially if you're a group, you've been together for a very long time. You maybe just finished an arc, about to start another one. Start exploring some heavy themes, the emotionally complicated ones. If there's been a shift in tone, or you've just been playing for a long time and it's just good to kind of get a pulse check. So this is a tool to supplement, not replace, your ongoing communication. Works really great around the halfway point of the campaign or any of the points that I just mentioned. How I usually frame it for players, I'm just gonna read so that I don't miss anything. Hey folks, since we're at about the halfway point through the campaign, I wanted to check in with everyone. This is just to make sure we are aligned with your goals, needs, and enjoyment as players. We did session 0 to set things up, so think of this as session half. You are welcome to DM me your answers privately if that feels better for you. Here are the 4 questions I'd love your thoughts on. Number 1. Do you feel as though your character has purpose in the current story? Number 2. Is there any backstory information that hasn't come into the game yet that you're wanting to see? Number 3. Generally, are there themes or tones, more levity, less family stuff, etc., or types of play, dungeons, combat in general, random encounters, etc., you want to see more or less of? Or do you feel comfortable with where all the dials are right now? Number 4, what's a way this game could end that would be disappointing to you? So that's it. As much as possible, don't over explain it unless, if you aren't asked, especially. And I do kind of stress the value of over communication almost on this channel. But in this specific instance, I am suggesting that you keep your explanations to a minimum, because the point is hearing what this stuff means to the players and how they have interpreted your questions even. That also will give you insight into their answers. And you don't need to make it this big formal thing. I've always just posted in Discord and been like, yo, get me your answers in the next couple of weeks. You could also do anonymous responses with Google Forms if you want, but I've honestly never bothered. The responses, like I said, will be a pulse check, just to kind of see if you need to recalibrate anything. And, avoid accidentally going down a path that feels kind of unsatisfying to players, because, you don't want to put a lot of work into something that people are just kind of meh about. You're gonna do the work anyway, it might as well matter. So, find out, maybe someone wants to be more tied into the central arc, maybe it does matter. Maybe someone's been craving a tactical challenge but just hasn't felt like they can ask for it. These kinds of questions that you're asking for answers for just sort of open the door to adjustment if you want to do it without blame, without judgment. So, give session 0.5, session 1/2, midpoint check-in, a shot. Listen with curiosity. You don't have to act on everything, but every response is a glimpse into the game or the story that your players care about. It's not about doing the most, it's about doing what matters to them. Anyway, if you liked this video, consider subscribing. But if you don't like notifications or subscriptions, I do have a backlog of stuff. And also have an audio-only podcast format with a transcript and written blog if that works better for you from an app accessibility perspective. I'm also on a few APs. Links to all of that in the description. I have put these questions in the description as well, so if you just want to copy and paste them to use, you absolutely can. Alright, cool, thanks.